Shall we get started? Can I hear a yes?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, Doctor.
Very good, very good. So we are done now with the define phase. We're done with the what's the next one? Measure,
Analyze, improve.
and now
Analyze.
we are on improve. Very good, very good. So again, as we did in all previous phases, there is a map to go through basically. So after you analyzed your problem, you know you knew now the important factor. You need to make improvement basically, and these improvement tools. To be honest, I don't see them, you know, what specific to Six Sigma. Many people use them, honestly, but they're good. They're good. So basically, what you want to do after you analyze and you know that you have a performance problem and you know your factors, and now you want to put improvement. Yeah, until now, you only identify the causes. You haven't generated improvements yet. So what you want to do now, you want to generate potential solutions and select the best solution among these potential solutions. You assess the risk basically of the selected solutions, and maybe at the end you want to do a pilot study to ensure that things are going well. Okay. And in each one of these, there are a number of tools like we did before. So we're just gonna go through these ones, you know, one by one, and we're going to see how they work. And there's a lot of these now from, you know, the improve phase. A lot of it is soft tools, you know. They just and common sense. A lot of them common sense tools. So one tool. When you actually when you are in this thing here, when you're generating potential solutions, one tool is called negative brainstorming. It's just like it's not the positive one; it's like the negative one. So, and negative brainstorming, it helps you to think differently about a problem and how to solve it. And the approach is very simple. And instead of asking how to solve a problem, go and ask how to create a problem. And sometimes when you're thinking about how to solve the problems, you cannot come up with many options. But when you say, okay, how do we not make our customer not happy, for example? And then you can see where you know where the problems are, and then you can actually like you negate them to do the opposite. So, for example, instead of asking how to increase customer retention, ask how do we lose customer? And then once you know what it takes to lose a customer, then all you need is just to do the exact opposite, basically, of it. Or and instead of asking how to make a perfect product, ask how to make a faulty one. And so you could come up with ideas, and so how to actually how the problems are coming, so you can fix them. So that's one tool is negative brainstorming, and it's very simple, but it's an effective one. Another approach is assumption busting. Meaning you make an assumptions and you bust that assumption. So let's look at an example. Let's say somebody says we cannot dispatch products in less than 1 hour. We cannot do it. Okay, there's no solution for it. So you try to bust his assumption and say, why? And he said, well, because the process takes at least 30 hours. And then you ask, why? And he say, well, because you can't prepare the shipment until the finance people approve it. And they say, why? And they say, well, because the shipment list is produced when the finance create the invoice, for example. And they say, why? And they say, I'm not sure. Well, maybe the shipment list could actually come straight to us, okay, and instead of going, you know, to the finance to create an invoice. You know, maybe that's just basically you're busting all assumptions. Say, no, we can do this because it's like this, and say, why? That's basically what assumption busting. It's just a way of trying to come up with possible solutions, and until now we're only coming up with solutions. Another, yes.
I have a question. Is the assumption busting related to the 5 whys method?
In a way, yes, it's the same concept, but that one for finding the root cause of a problem. This one, you're trying to find the rationale for somebody doing something, which is, but it's the same concept. Okay, so and another method is and this is actually should come later, but error proofing, pokeyoki. Okay, this method is to eliminate or reduce errors, defects, rework, and scrap. And an example, very easy example, is the nozzles in your car. If you have a gasoline car, even by mistake you go to the diesel side, the diesel nozzle will not go into your car. So there is no way to make an error, basically. So or another example, the washing machine, they will not actually turn, they will not start until you close the door. So there is no chance that you will make a mistake. Microwave also, you know, unless you close the door, the microwave will not start. So this is called pokeyoki, and again, this is a Japanese word, and it means error proofing, basically. Benchmarking. Maybe you want to do benchmarking, and this is an everyday examples of benchmarking. Benchmarking, you don't have to bench with people who are in similar business to you, not necessarily. Sometimes it's better to bench with somebody who is not in similar business. For example, a car manufacturer that would like to provide a customized cars, maybe he would like to benchmark with a pizza delivery for rapid delivery. So what sort of techniques do they do for expediting the pizza? Maybe you could borrow some concepts for them. This is what a benchmark is. Maybe supermarket online home delivery services. Maybe he can bench with a non-competing online retailer on website design. You know, so just benchmark with how they actually handle their business, and you try to take some ideas from others. Of course, you can benchmark with your peers as well. That would be a good benchmark as well. Think of SCAMPER. SCAMPER also is a soft tool, and basically it provides a checklist to improve upon existing design. So until now we're looking at ways and possible improvement. For example, you could say, can we substitute people, this guy instead of this guy, this component instead of this component, maybe this material instead of this material, or a process from elsewhere, and so on. That's what an S is. SCAMPER stands for SCAM and so on. C are there function or elements or feature that can be combined together. That might be a solution to improve speed, for example, or cost, maybe. Can you alter or adapt ideas from different processes? That's what an A is, or industries. Can we modify a feature? That's modify. So we're going SCAMPER, basically. Can we put product, service, solutions, or an idea to a different use? What would happen if we eliminate an element in the process? So what if we eliminate this? What would happen? You know, because this is trying to generate solution, basically. Reverse. Instead of going this way, can we reverse things, maybe up inside out or upside down and things like this? What would happen if we did things back to front? You know, it's just a method to, and now you analyze your problem, now you try to put some solution in the table and you try it. So after you generate your potential solutions, now you want to select the best solution. And to start with your best solution, how are you going to assess the best solution? You need to establish first an assessment criteria. So it is one way to assess to establish an assessment criteria. So you put all the criteria for the assessment and say, okay, we want it to be implemented quickly. That is important. We wanted to this solution. We wanted to be to actually fully solve the problem, not partially solve the problem. This is true. We don't want it to be costly. For example, we don't want to be more than 100,000, and we want to, you know, maybe you fix it in one way, it will impact in the other way, and regulations. You know, it's not so. If there is any regulation. So these are, let's say you come up and you sit down and you come up with these assessment criteria. You say, this is my assessment criteria. Now you ask your team. And let's say you have your team, you have Sarah, you have Ali, you have Amr, John, Huda, whatever, okay? And you say, okay, you have Sarah, you have 100 points. How much of this 100 points you're gonna give to be completed quickly? I say, I don't think that's really very important. The most important thing is that it will solve the problem. So I'll give solving the problem 40 out of 100. I will give quickly 15. I will give this 10 because cost should not be important. You know, that's how she thinks. Okay, so she divides her 100 points for the assessment criteria. Ali does the same. Amr does the same, and so on. You can see Ali. Let me take a good example here. Let's say Ali does not agree too much with Sarah. He thinks that this should get more weight and so on. But that's what you do. So you just add all of these horizontally, and you get a number here. So the total weight here is 45. And for criteria number 2 is 240. So this is the most significant one. That's what almost everybody agreed on. Okay, and then you calculated the percentage. And basically, what you do, you divide 45 divided by 500, and that's what 10%, maybe 9%. Okay, so this criterion contribute to about 10% or 9%. So that's how much weight it holds, the total weight. So now you did your assessment criteria. So you know, you agreed that this is what we're going to be using. So the next step, you take these numbers that you got here and you put them against the criteria. So, okay, we agreed that it will be implemented quickly. We gave it 9%. This guy, we gave it 48%. This criteria, we gave it this much percent. Now, we're going to assess our solutions, the different solutions, against the different criteria. So we say solution A, how is it related to what? Implementing it quickly. I say, okay, I give it 8 out of 10. And then you multiply it by the weight and so on. So you multiply this number times this number, this number times this number, this number times, and so on. And you get a score, a total score like this. And it's the same thing with here. You take 8 times 0.09, 7 times 0.48, and so on, and you get a number like this. Now, after you finish the calculation, you see that solution B gets the highest rank. So the overall ranking, this one gets the higher rank. So this is like a priority. You say, well, maybe we'll go and we select solution B. It's a soft method, but it's based on the judgment of our subject matter expertise, but it's a good way of doing things. So after you select your solution, now it's solution screening in general. You have maybe 2 or 3 solutions. Now, before you move on, you want to do some sort of sanity check, because sometimes just playing with numbers and tables without thinking about it here. You see, like you could ask this question: would really, so you sit down, would really this solution, would it eliminate the problem? What do you all think? Is it likely to be effective? Will the customer accept it? Will it be accepted by the business? Is it capable of becoming business as usual? And so on. So there's like a sanity check. After you did all the calculation, you don't just want the numbers to go sit down and digest it yourself and say, okay, yes, we love it, let's go. So now, after you actually generated all potential solutions and you selected the best solution, now you want to assess the risk. And assessing the risk, basically use the fishbone and use FMEA. And I think we've talked about both of them before. So like the FMEA, and I don't wanna go over it again. But here, after you actually found all your causes, you wanna do the recommendation against each cause, and then you wanna change now the severity and the likelihood and the detection. You said, okay, I had an RBN number of this much. Is the RBN number the same? As you can see, this one has reduced, this one has reduced, and so on. So this is how you actually do an FMEA. Very good. Now, after this one actually should go here. So we're just gonna look at a few. We pilot the study, and piloting the study, maybe we do different things. But one important thing is, and you will hear it a lot, is the 5S. And the 5S again, it's also known as good housekeeping, but it's Japanese. All the 5S's are Japanese. People try to translate them into English as 5S's, although they don't exactly match, but they're good enough. And maybe if we translate them into 5 scenes in Arabic, maybe we will lose the whole thing. But it's actually the 5S's are Siri. I can't even pronounce them very well. The C-tones, C-so, C-kitiso, whatever. But in Arabic, in English, they're translated to sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain. And basically what 5S is, it's a useful structure for improving the workplace. It's a tool to create an order. And it's such a powerful tool, and I think almost everybody does this. You come to your office and you decide one day that I really need to do a 5S. And sometimes we do it and we know that we're doing a 5S, or sometimes we don't know that we're doing a 5S. Maybe we're doing a 3 or 4 S's or something. But let's go over the meaning of these 5 S's. The first S is sort. And sort in the meaning that anything that you don't want, you sort it out, you throw it away. That's what sort means. Although the English word does not maybe exactly mean this, but sort here in this context, and that's what happens. Actually, me and my family in the house, that's what we did recently. We went through all the clutter that we have in some of our rooms, and we just decided that this one is we don't want, this one we're gonna throw away, this one, because some things have been there for the longest time, and you can't really work if you're in a messy place. Here, you're leaving things to chances. Again, something that you're supposed to be found in a minute, It's taking 2 hours to find. I need a screwdriver. Where is the screwdriver? We don't know. Maybe it's over the table, over the TV. Maybe it's over there. Maybe, you know. So something that will take a short time is taking a long time. Why? Because of the... Somebody's not muted. Can you hear me all? Can I just hear 1 or 2 people hearing me?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the problem. Then this is a simple solution, but that's what create your variation, because Six Sigma, and you'll get questions like this. It's all about reducing the variation. Sometimes if I leave things to chance, one time I want something, I'll find it very quick. Another time. Please mute. Somebody need to mute his.
And Sean, how old are they? How old are they? How old are they? كم عمرهم?
Somebody. Oh my.
How old are they?
Can you? Hello. Can you mute your speaker, please? I think it's okay. How do I mute them? I think there should be something to mute them. Okay. I think we're fine now. So the purpose here is that you want to reduce your variation. And how do you reduce variation? You don't leave things to chance. That's the thing. You want something, you find it. But if your place is a messy place, you will not find things. That's as simple as this. So one time you find it very quick, one time you didn't find it very quick. One time you meet your customer requirement, one time you didn't meet your customer requirement. And that's the problem. So here what you need to do, first of all, sort meaning that you get rid of all the clutter. Anything that you don't want, you put it aside. And there is a best practice, actually. You don't come to an organization and you throw the stuff of other people away without letting them know. You go on, maybe you mark them, you put them in a store, something like this, and then you make a call for a week or so. Anybody who doesn't get his things, we're going to throw them away, and so on. But there is a protocol. But that's what sort means. Just like you get rid of things that are not needed. So that's what sort. After you sort, you only now left with the things that you need. You need to straighten these things. Straightening meaning you find everything a place. My screwdriver is always here. My remote control is always here. My whatever it's always there. My tool, my procedure. It's not like, okay, where is the procedure? Where is it? Nobody knows where it is. So everything is in a place. So straighten mean you find everything a place. Then shine. Shine is to keep everything clean and tidy. And the purpose is not just cleaning. It's not like a cleaning is being hygienic or something like this. It's shining because you want the thing to tell you that I'm missing, I'm not here. Sometimes if you put something in a visual management perspective, if it's not there, it will tell you. You said, I'm not here. Can you see? You come to a room and you say, where is that thing? I don't see it. So it is telling you that it's not there. And this is what they do, sometimes in plants. Like the hammer, they hang it in a place where everybody see it every day. If it's missing, then they say, oh, where is the hammer? We don't see it. So so this is what shine means. Standardize. You need to develop a system. For everything there is a system. This is how we retrieve things. This is how we communicate. This is how we don't just everything does things the way they think. It's like communication in a way. This is standardized by putting a procedure. Anybody who takes something, he needs to put that, here's a system to log it in. And the one best way that a task or activity should be done by all workers, that's what standardized. And objective is to reduce variation. The more you have a standard system, then the more there is variation. If things finish in 5 minutes, it will finish in 5 minutes. If things cost this much money, then it will cost this much money. If it costs this much product, then this is what it is. And of course, like anything, you need to sustain. That's the last S here, and the 5 S's. You just keep it going. And basically, how do you do that? You need to regularly audit your system. You don't just leave it, you know, okay, just maybe in a month time, every 6 month time, whatever, we're gonna come and we're gonna audit that everybody is following what we have laid down as procedures and so on. Sorry again for the quality of this, but this is a visual management. If key number 10 is missing, it will tell you, I'm not here. Why? Because you will see it's a place empty. But if you put all of these in a bag, a Panda bag or Form 8 bag or whatever, then it can be missing for years and no one will notice. Only when you need it, you will notice. But here, it right away, you open it, oh, where is key number 10? Where is my socket? Where is my whatever, plier? So, another concept here in the improve, which is the SMED. There is a link. I want you to go through it yourself. It doesn't take long. Maybe it's 1 minute or two minutes, but it will show you the importance of rapid changeover or quick changeover. And that's the key word for SMED, is that, you know, how you actually you change from a machine to another machine. The more rapid in the changeover, this is called single minute exchange of dice. That it means you wanna be able to exchange dices within a single minute. Single minute is 1 to 9, but 1 to 9 is only like يعني كلمة مجازية anyway. It doesn't have to be, but that's what it means. And by just looking at what takes time, what takes a long time to switch from, maybe some of the things you can do it while your equipment is running. This is mainly for equipment. You know, some fixes you can do it while the equipment is running. So don't wait until it shuts down to actually do it. So that's and another concept, which you probably, I'm sure many of you have heard, is Kaizen. And Kaizen basically is an implementation of a small, low-risk process improvement. It's like continuous improvement, but in change. Every day we change something. Let's improve this a little bit better. Let's improve that a little bit better. And usually a Kaizen event, people sit, you know, sit together and say, what can we, you know, like each event, what can we actually change to improve? Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Maybe this is like little hamla, just like a campaign, you know, and you do small improvement here, small improvement there, and so on. And the philosophy here is developing a culture where everybody basically are engaged in improving the organization. And the action plan is organizing events focused into improving maybe specific area. Today we'll take this room, tomorrow we'll take the other room, or this place, and so on and so forth. So it's taking it a piece at a time. Kaizen, in a typical event, you set a goal and you provide necessary background, you review the current state and develop a plan for improvement, and you implement this improvement, you review and fix, and then you report and go back again. And normally it is the procedure used or the process used is not the DMAIC, it's used the PDCA. So you plan, you do, you check, you act, then you go back, plan again, do, check, act, and this is like sort of a continuous thing. There are other methods. I don't think, you know, you'll see this word in a green belt exam, but Kaizen is a small improvement, and Keikako, now I'm learning Japanese, is a radical change, basically, when there is a big, severe a need for huge improvement, then you probably want to go to something like it's basically making fundamental and radical changes in a protection system. So that's the. I will leave you also for these two links about Kanban. This is both of them are great, and they're short. This one maybe 5 minutes. This one maybe 1 or 2 minutes. But it will show you the single piece flow versus batch flow. If you actually work in batch flow, you finish the batch and then you give it to next guy, and then the guy will not give it to the third guy until he finish a total batch. Then this might take a long time. But if you do a single piece, you finish it, you give it to him, and this guy give it to them, and this guy give it to him, you will see that this is a way to do improvement. But these are short videos, and I think they did a great job in explaining both Kanban and the single piece flow versus batch flow. So after you agreed in your improvement, you know what you're gonna do and so on. Well, the last thing is that you wanna do the pilot studies. And pilot study, the purpose is that you don't want to roll a whole plan out and then discover that there are mistakes in it and so on. Maybe you want to choose a small portion, and then you validate your solution, the effectiveness of the solution, and if it proves that it is good, then you go for a rollout. But maybe you want to do a pilot study, and I'm sure everybody, this pilot study, everybody heard a pilot study. A pilot study basically are localized, controlled trial of a solution, basically to test the effectiveness before full implementation. So it validates the effectiveness of the solution, promotes buy-in from key stakeholders. Say, look, it worked. So, I say, okay, we agree, go on. The final solution can be tuned and optimized as lesson learned. You're learning from the pilot, so you can fix it before you actually do it for the whole company or the whole facility and so on. Risk and cost associated with pilots are lower than full implementation, and the effectiveness of the solution can be measured and checked against goal statements. So that's this is how you plan pilot study. Where do you want to plan it? The scope and area should be chosen very carefully, and they need to be a representative of a wider process. You don't want to just apply it to something that doesn't reflect the rest of the process. When you want to, so there is the where, there is the when, and the when is basically the time frame that must be sufficient for the process to respond to the solution. Sometimes you put a solution, it needs time before you see the results. So you want to put a good time frame there. And the how part of it is you need a detailed data collection plan. Before you implement it, you put a data collection plan is how am I going to measure the effectiveness? I need to take data. I want to see that my pilot plan is actually has worked very well. So with this, this is the end of the improve phase. Any question here? Any comment? A lot of it is soft stuff, soft material, very logical. It makes sense. So anybody would like to have has a question, would like to make a comment, add something to it?
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Hawra. Actually, I have a question regarding the assessment criteria. When you, for example,
this one?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, we set first the solution, then we put the criteria that measure or assess this solution to choose the best one. This is what we do here in the assessment criteria. like here, this is question, can they implement it quickly? Actually, this is a criteria to assess this solution, right? Solution A and B and C.
Exactly, exactly. But you want to put the criteria first. It makes sense, you know. You don't want to put the solution and then you create a criteria that fits the solution. No, you want to put the criteria first. You say what makes a good solution good before we actually introduce the solution. I say, okay, a good solution is a solution that will be implemented quickly. A good solution is a solution that will solve our problem fully. A good solution that's not costly, that doesn't cost us an arm and a leg. A good, you know, and all, so these are all called assessment criteria. And how much weight do we want to give to each criterion? This is how we do it. We ask Dr. Hawra, we ask Dr. Fayyad, we ask Fatima, we ask Ahmed, and so on. So, and everybody give us a number, and based on this, we create a value, basically, a weight for each assessment criteria.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Should we take a break before we go to the control? The control also is not going to be very long, but maybe it's what do you all think? Maybe we should continue, and then if we have time, we'll break earlier today, so you can take a shorter night tonight.
I think it's better.
Okay. Okay, you have children and you need to go to your children, so I understand. Very good, very good. So we go to the control phase, and control phase now is just.
Doctor, can I ask one question, please?
Yes, yes.
And the same criteria that Ms. Hawra asked, we put the criteria and then we put the solution A, B, C, D, right?
Yeah, one here. Yeah.
Is this one same the criteria, or this is different than?
No, actually we use the criteria here, the weighted criteria. So we said we're given 0.09 to easy implementation. So if the solution can be easily implemented, then we'll give it a weight of 10%, basically, or 9% here. But we've given like almost 50% to the problem being solved fully, which makes sense, you know. Okay, we want the problem to be solved, not just be solved quickly. So we're given 50% of our weight to solving the problem fully, and we're given 9% to solving it quickly. And then we take these numbers here and we put them here in the top, 0.09, 0.48, 0.13. See this row here, you see it?
Yes,
so
yes, sure.
We put the data here. Now,
yes.
now we evaluate the solution. We got solution A. Solution A, as we give it, it will actually, we give it 8. We think that it will actually 8 out of 10. We think that 80% it is actually can be implemented quickly. We say, so what? If it can be implemented quickly, we say, so what? It's 0.09. It contributes to 9%. And say, okay, well, I don't think solution A is really very good in giving us the final this. It's 4. But so what? Well, what do you mean, so what? This is 50% of our criteria is to solve our problem correct. And this one doesn't look to be too good for it. So this is what it is. So basically what you do, you multiply this number times this number times this number, and you add these products, this multiplication, and you come up with a number here. And the same thing you do for
this is clear, Doctor, but what do you mean by solution A, solution B? Is it the same, the criteria, or what is this?
Okay. You have a criteria, not just one criteria, multi-criteria, okay? I want it to be fixed fast, I want it to be fixed right, and so on. So these are criteria. Now you have solutions. Okay, everybody is, well, we came up with a few solutions. And I say, okay, does the solution really fix my problem, or does it not fix my problem? Is it really going to be quick, or is it not going to be quick? So I'm actually gauging the solution, solution A, and solution B. All the solutions that came to fix my problem, I'm gauging them against this criteria. You're telling me to do this. Okay, does this solve the problem fully, or does it not solve the problem fully? Does this solution can be implemented quickly or cannot not be? So I'm actually gauging my solutions against my criteria here. Not clear?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we'll go to the control, and the control should not be very long. The control phase basically is